What is going on, everybody? So today I'm headed to an aquarium that is actually in a retirement home, and we took over this tank about close to about a year now, and it's come a long way. But one of the issues we've been facing is they have a bunch of these starfish in their tank, the little white starfish, Asterina starfish. Anyway, there's just been like an absolute population boom. So what I had to do was we got a harlequin shrimp in, which specifically eats starfish, and we put it in the aquarium, and now it's about a month later and I'm headed there to see how he's done. Has he cleaned up these starfish? Now, part of the reason why I wanted to get rid of these starfish was because I feel like they were kind of throwing off the balance of the aquarium, eating beneficial bacteria and other little critters that might help keep the tank a little bit more balanced. And we have seen some cyanobacteria blooms, some algae blooms and things like that. So I'm dealing with the water chemistry issue, but I also want to deal with these starfish because they're just taking over this tank. So yeah, it's a pretty bad case. But before we get there, I wanted to show you guys something with our little nano tank here at the shop, our display. We've had to do some major fragging and separating because this chalice coral right here was putting out its sweeper tentacles and basically just killing everything around it. It's just destroyed this lepto. It was also really messing up this Monopora setosa. So we've had to separate them. Eventually, I think we're just gonna get rid of this chalice coral, sell to a customer, just because it's just run out of room in this little 20-gallon nano aquarium. There's really not much room for it, and anything that it touches, it's gonna kill. And it's unfortunate, but I do think this lepto will recover. It's already, if we look closely, it's got its polyps out, so I think it will recover in just a matter of a couple of months or so. We should see that encrusting back. Setosa got hit hard too. There were some bleaching spots here, but it has grown back and it's looking much better now. Its polyps are out and it's getting a nice dark orange, which you like to see from the Setosa. But we are now at the point with this nano aquarium that we've already kind of taken out some coral, but we're gonna have to take out some more coral just for the simple fact that, like, we're running out of room. All these corals are gonna start bumping into each other. They're gonna overtake each other. I don't want to lose these purple monsters. I don't want to lose these utter chaos. So we got to be careful to frag them so they don't overshadow each other. This monopora is growing into that monopora. I don't want to lose either of them. So yeah, it's just been getting crazy growth in this tank. So I think what we're going to do is do some really good fragging in here. The bright side of moving these corals out of the way is some of these corals are getting a better light now. So if you look at these jawbreaker mushrooms, they have just been taken off now. Those are just a couple of them there. They've gotten bigger and they are spreading like crazy, which those are, hey, I'm all for those spreading. Those are an expensive coral. And also, I didn't even notice this burning banana stylo down here. But now that we created some room, it's getting a little bit more light and it's starting to grow too. So some corals that I didn't even know were in this tank, now that we fragged some stuff and moved some stuff apart, we're starting to notice some things in here that we never had before. So that's huge. And look, there's a lepto here on this corner right there too, along with another chalice in the back. So yeah, sometimes fragging is good. All right, so let's get into what we're going to do today. We're gonna head to that tank in a second, but I want to show you what we were dealing with originally. So this is the original footage that I took about a month ago of what the tank looked like and the just insane amount of starfish that we had in this tank. So check it out. By far one of the coolest inverts you can get, the harlequin shrimp. I love the blue with the white, just a unique looking shrimp. Now this guy's gonna help take care of our little problem, and let's head inside right now so I can show you what that problem is. All right, so this is the tank and we're having a bit of an issue with an explosion of Asterina little starfish right here. They're everywhere and they are just causing a bit of a problem because they're throwing off the microbiome of the tank and causing us to have some real issues when it comes to the balance of the aquarium. You can see they're also on the rock right here, all on the rock. It's right there. So this is nothing. The lights just came on, so there's not as many of them on the glass right now. There's not as many of them on the glass right now. There's a ton of them in this tank. And they're just a pest. Some more over on this side. Again, all on the rocks. So we're gonna use this little harlequin shrimp These starfish are his favorite snack, and he's just gonna go through here and devour all these little guys and help us get this tank back up and running and looking good. Because look at right now, look at the cyanobacteria in the sand. Now, what's so cool about these shrimp is they're not hit and miss, like, you know, with filefish or peppermint shrimp when it comes to aptasia. These guys will 100% will eat starfish. You don't have to worry about it. As long as you don't have a fish in there that's aggressive and that will eat them, 100% they'll work. So we just acclimated him here in the tank, and he's already going to town. Already has a starfish in his mouth. That's how quickly these work. So there's no fish in here that will bother him. He's pretty much got free reign of the aquarium. We're gonna have to do something with this bacteria that's growing on the rock. So we'll get some more cleanup crew for that, and maybe start dosing some beneficial bacteria to the tank. Things are looking a little bit off here. This tank definitely needs some love. It needs some attention, but you know, this is crazy right here, all the algae in this tank. Well, we're gonna leave it there. There's our harlequin shrimp. He'll find his way throughout the tank. There's starfish right close to him on the wall. And he's got plenty to eat in here. And he should be able to do well in here for a long time. And once he eats up all the starfish in this tank, we'll go ahead and take him out and find him a new home where there's more starfish. But this harlequin shrimp is by far one of the coolest little inverts you can get for your tank. And it really doesn't matter how big of a tank you have them in, as long as they have enough starfish to eat. All right, so here we are back. And this is about a month later. And right off the bat, there goes our little harlequin shrimp right there, hanging out. And I am looking, and I do see some starfish. Right there, there's a starfish, but not like there was before. There's one right there. There's a couple sporadic, but on the glass, they're not just covering the glass like they were before. But there's definitely some more in here, but they're not everywhere like they were before. So it feels like there's a difference being made. Now, as we go to the other side of the tank, there's one there, there's one there, and then climbing all the way up here. But all in all, so our little buddy, the harlequin shrimp, has definitely been doing its job and is happy in here, at least for the meantime. There still is sporadically starfish here, so it's got still enough food to sustain itself. Honestly, once the food runs out, we'll cross that bridge when we get there, but there's still at this moment plenty of food in here. And the tank itself is looking much better too. The rocks are looking really clean. Anemones are growing like crazy. Mushrooms are starting to like pop off and go to different places. That mushroom is huge. Definitely want to add more coral in here, but I think now that we got rid of that, now that we got rid of the starfish, I think that if you look at the sand, look how much better the sand looks. I truly believe that the starfish were throwing off the balance of this aquarium, but the sand looks so much better. So whatever the overabundance of starfish in here, I think we're definitely making a difference in throwing the ecosystem of the aquarium off. And I think it was a good choice, a smart move to get rid of them and put the harlequin shrimp in here. And the people, the guests, the customers, they love it. So other than that, the fish are healthy. Mono looks good. Firefish is good. Little wrasse is good. Everybody else is healthy. A lot of work to do to this tank, but now I feel much more confident putting coral in here going forward, because those starfish are starting to dwindle in numbers so much that, you know, I have better, more confidence that coral will survive in this tank. I do think when I come back here in about 2 weeks that most of the starfish will be gone in this tank, and I'll probably leave him in here for about another month, and then we'll probably end up having to take him out. But I think in about another 2 weeks, most of the starfish will be out of this tank. He's going to make short work of them, and I think we'll be good then.